Hello and welcome to another edition of TrewVizon Radio. I am your host, Awesome Al, along with my co-host, Hooch, the producer of TrewVizon Radio. My co-host, Hooch.
How you doing?
How you doing, Hooch?
Good.
Good. Today, we're going to talk about something that's very important that's going around not only this city, this state, this country, but around the world. We're talking about this coronavirus disease that's going around this world that's affected everybody, and I mean everybody. You all right over there, Hooch?
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
Hooch and I, we are in different studios, by the way.
Yeah. We don't
so
want
he
it.
called me now. I'm not there.
I think you gave it to me last week. Yeah.
And we have a special guest on the show today, Minister P. How you doing, Minister P?
Oh, I'm doing all right, Albert. It's fun to get a chance to talk with you all again.
Yes, sir, it is. And I'm glad that you're on the show today because we're going to go from every aspect of this epidemic, pandemic, whatever endemic that it is. We're going to try to talk about this morning on TrewVizon Radio. And yes, we start out by saying how this stuff supposedly came about. And
Wait a minute. So explain the difference between epidemic and pandemic.
All right. Now, an epidemic is a small spread of a disease. It's happened mostly in a local area, probably within a state or a city. Then it started spreading within that city, and then they say, "My God, it's an epidemic."
That's right.
But a pandemic is of worldwide proportion. It starts in, let's say, one state, then it goes to another state. It starts in one country, and it goes to another country, and all of a sudden, it's all over the world. That's a pandemic. It starts with an epidemic, and it turns into a pandemic. This coronavirus disease, or COVID-19 as some call it, it's a pandemic because it's a worldwide situation.
That's right.
This spread of this disease supposedly started in China, in a city called Wuhan, China.
That's right.
A 35-year-old guy from Washington State went over to Wuhan, China, and not allegedly, but contracted this disease and brought it back over here to the United States, and he was tested. And when he was tested, he had the disease. And from there, from Washington State, it has spread it all over the United States and all around the world. I got a breakdown of states that I will read off throughout this show. I'll probably read 5 or 10 at a time. It has the so far reported cases of this virus and how many who has it and how many who has died so far, according to Johns Hopkins University, the Center for Disease Control out of Atlanta, CDC, and the Life Sciences magazine. This is where I got this from. So these are not numbers, people that I have made up in my head. These are numbers that's coming from Johns Hopkins, Life Sciences, and the CDC. So if they are wrong because they were taken yesterday and a few days ago. This virus is spreading day by day at a, in the words of Donald Trump, tremendous rate.
That's right.
So these numbers could be higher now. So as I read them, but as I said, we would talk about this we will discuss these states as time go on. Hooch, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Well, I think it's important to explain the cases here in Montgomery. I think there's a lot of
Say what now?
speculation. The cases, how many cases here in the capital city of Montgomery?
Well, according to the news I just saw on WAKA TV, which is the CBS affiliate in the Montgomery area, there are now only 2 cases that's been confirmed in Montgomery, Alabama. That's it. I know some people have said it's more than that, but
yeah, like
according
6, yeah.
to the news report I just saw, it's only 2. There's only 2 cases reported here in Montgomery, 2 in Elmore County, and the surrounding counties is a low count. So,
what about
in the
state?
state of Alabama altogether, it's 47 cases.
Wow.
Altogether in the state of Alabama, with the most reported in the Jefferson County area, which is Birmingham, for all of our friends up there in the Birmingham area. You all have the most reported cases of this virus there in the Birmingham area, and the reason is because Birmingham has 1/3 of the citizens in the state of Alabama. Right there in the Birmingham and the metro area alone, it is 1 million people living in that area. So, and the last time it was reported, it was 22 cases in the Birmingham area or something like that. So Birmingham has the most cases in the state of Alabama. With Jefferson County does. I would put it that way. It could be Birmingham or Pelham or all of those places around the Birmingham area. So,
what should we do to prepare ourselves for such a?
What can we do to prepare ourselves is to do what our grandmothers has done us to do all of our lives. Wash your hands.
Yeah.
Wash your hands.
That's
be
right.
clean. Don't be nasty, baby. Wash your hands. Washing your hands several times each day will help to slow down this spread of the disease. You can wash your hands. I heard a doctor on the radio say the other day that the best soap you can use is the white bar of the Dial soap, because it has the ingredients in it to kill bacteria. And also use the soap called Libra 2000. Because it also has those same ingredients that will, kill germs. Also use, Lysol to spray the area where you are. Wipe down your counters with bleach wipes and Lysol wipes and stuff like that.
If you can find any.
And
if you can find any.
In other words, cleanliness is next to God.
And speaking of God, Mr. Phillips.
Speaking of God, yes, let's turn to Minister P and talk to him about. Mr. P, do you think this is something that is going on because of God is trying to tell us something, so to speak?
Well, one thing I know, Albert, is that this is what Jesus said to a woman that was sinning. He said, sin no more, lest a worser thing come upon you. This worser thing will come upon anybody that sin, and we all sin, and we all get the worser thing. But now, Now we know America. We know America are not perfect. No, nobody's perfect. So that means that you constantly get the result of your sin. You keep saying sin. The wages of sin is death. I can't change that.
Right.
Right.
So if you sin, then you expect death. Now we can get forgiveness. We keep sinning. We keep right on sinning though. After the forgiveness, the guy told me, he said, "Well, I used to do this, and I said, you're not through. You're gonna do some more, and because you're not dead yet, so when tomorrow you're gonna do some more, and God knows that, and so you're gonna have to. We have to go by. I'm just speaking from the biblical point. He got laws and principles, and you have to. We have to watch that. We can't just break his laws like they don't matter.
Right.
We can't do that. There are repercussions. We act and then God reacts.
Like gayism.
And so we have to keep that in mind. All those ancient countries, he explained to them what not to do, and when they did it, broke his laws, and he reacted to that. And they were put in captivity, and he turned loose plagues.
Right.
And this is something like a plague. And I found out another thing, but this is just my point. I don't push my points off on folk, but I have to spread. I have to say, as a preacher, you gotta express yourself. This disease and everything else does not start on the material level. It starts on the spiritual level. He said, from out of the heart flows all the issues of life. From out of the heart. These things are coming from out of the heart of man. First, it starts on the spiritual level, then on the psychological level, and then on the material level. We only see it when it expresses itself on the material level. But it didn't start on that. It started on the spiritual level. David told God, give me a clean heart. That's why I'm doing all these ugly things I'm doing, because my heart is dirty and unclean. He said, and if you don't clean the heart, I'm just going to keep on doing the same thing I've been doing.
You dirty.
So all this stuff, the Bible says, from out of the heart, it says, if thou can believe in thy heart. It always said the heart. The subconscious, the deep subconscious, that's where all this stuff starts at. It's instead of, we see this virus as being on the outside, but the Bible says the heart of man, it comes out of the heart. He said it comes from within, not from without. You see it when it's without, but it comes from within. All our experiences come from within. We don't, let's say I mistreated you or did something ugly to you, and when it comes back to me, I don't recognize it.
That's right.
It's coming back, but I don't recognize it. You get a man gets full of hell, and then he catches hell from that. But people only see him when he catches hell.
Right.
But before that, he was full of hell.
Right.
That's how you go to hell, because you're full of hell. and you can't go to heaven full of hell. But
don't realize that you're in hell. Yeah.
Yeah, but these things start. I just want to give some examples. I have gotten up early in the morning, and these are only my views. I've gotten up in the morning, and I've heard other people say that, and I was in a bad mood. And on my way out the door, I bumped my head. On my way out to the car, I lost my keys. When I got in the car, I shut the door, and the door shut on the belt where it wasn't really closed. And it just went on from one thing to another because I was full of hell. And it didn't stop going. Those negatives was expressing themselves. And it didn't stop until I straightened myself out. When I stopped, I was mad with somebody that hadn't paid me some money. And it was a grudge. It was something they'd haven't maybe 20 years ago, but I wouldn't let it go. And I happened to have it on my mind that day. And my circumstances and experiences wouldn't change until I got that evil out of me. Finally, I forgave the person, said, just let it go. And then things straightened out. But all that was coming out of me.
Yeah,
all it was
right.
And so we have to watch ourselves. The Bible tells us that he told, that's why he was explaining about his 10 commandments. He didn't make those 10 commandments, write them to stop us from having fun. That's not why he did that. He did it to keep us from experiencing those negative things that would come out of that. Thou shalt not do this, thou shalt not do that. He said that for a reason. If you had a little boy and y'all live close to the highway, you would tell that your son, don't ride that tricycle out toward that highway because that 18-wheeler will flatten you. You need to tell him that because he doesn't know.
Correct.
Now, if you don't tell him, he'll go right out there and he don't see anything coming. He'll ride in the highway and he'll get killed. But God is telling us beforehand, the wages of sin is death. He keeps saying that. And because sin is fun, it's fun to sin. I used to drink and play and run around. It was fun.
What else you used to do?
But there's a penalty for it.
Tell us some more of your sin.
As I got deeper into it, I started getting shot at, and guys threatened to kill me because there were other guys messing with those women. And so that's why God told you, thou shalt not commit fornication, thou shalt not commit adultery. But I had to try it out and see. Yeah, and I almost got killed. I almost got killed about 8 times.
Wow.
And so finally I thought about why he said don't do it. He wasn't saying don't do it because he didn't want you to have no fun. He don't want you to get shot in the head or to catch AIDS. Right. You can get AIDS. But anyway, I just wanted to spend some time. I don't want to overtalk.
Well, that's fine. Minister P, you were telling us about, how things start and how they come about. As I always said, everything starts in you.
That's right. That's right.
And everything starts at home, and home is you.
That's right.
So everything starts at home, then it's, manifest itself and, will go out into the public.
That's right.
And see, the public only will see what has grown out of you.
That's right.
So if you want to make a positive change, you got to start with you. In the words of the late, great Michael Jackson, you got to start in the man in the mirror. So
that's right. It looks like it's on the outside, but it really begins on the inside.
Yes, sir.
It comes from within, and you only see it when it expresses itself on the outside. But long before then, it has its origin on the inside, on the psychic level, on the spiritual level. And you remember they said, heaven rules in the affairs of men. The spiritual part rules in our life. It comes down to us. Okay, let's say you take a car. You see a car already built, but it didn't start there. It started in the mind of a man. It started as an idea. And that idea, somebody put that idea on paper and drew it out, and then it became a car. A physical car, material car, but it didn't start on the material level. It started on the mental level, and even higher than that, it came down from a spiritual level because it had to be what they call, if I could think of that word, there's a level of thinking that's above just rational thinking. I'm trying to think of the name, abstract thinking. Einstein was known for that, and a lot of scientists are known for abstract thinking. That's the highest type of thinking man can do. And the atomic bomb, all inventions came from abstract thinking. Right. And so that's what we have. Everybody's capable of it. And when you keep messing with an idea and just keep on messing with that idea, That idea is like a seed. And finally, when you, that's right, when you accept it with conviction, then it begins to come into reality and express itself. And if you neglect it, it will abort itself like a child in the womb. But if you keep messing with it, whether it's evil or good, it will express itself and come into reality, and you won't recognize it when you see it if you're not careful.
Amen.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. That's right. You're speaking the truth there, sir. You're speaking the truth. Getting back to this.
1 second, I want to say something real quick. Don't forget to hit that Cash App, True Bucks, and hit the like button, share a like.
Yes, sir. Do that. Everybody who is listening to this show, please don't forget to hit that Cash App, TrewVizon Bucks, because that will allow us to bring you more of these entertaining and infotaining shows, because we try to entertain, but most of all, we try to inform you on what is going on in the world.
Don't forget that. Don't forget to email us too. Yeah.
Yes, email us. Please email us. Let us know your comments, your likes, your dislikes, whatever. Just email us at TrewVizonRadio@gmail.com. That's True, TrewVizon, Vision Radio, RADIO, @gmail.com. Please do that, and we will read your emails. We will welcome your suggestions, your comments, whatever you have. And as I said, please, in the words of James Brown, please.
Pretty good so far.
Please donate to TrewVizon Radio, to the True Bucks, to the True Bucks Cash App.
We are.
So please donate, and so we can bring you more of this entertaining and infotaining show. Of course, we're going to have some other things going on, like our T-shirts and hats and all of that stuff, but that's later on down the line. But right now, we're asking you to donate to us so we can fund those things. Everything has to have money. This is a capitalistic society.
That's right.
In America, so we all got to have money,
right.
And that including Hooch and myself at TrewVizon Radio.
Don't forget Minister P. He needs money too.
That's right, Minister P.
We are 22 minutes into the show. Just want to let you know.
All right, thank you there, sir. I appreciate it.
Hey, one more thing. What's the other subject we're going to talk about on the next show?
Well, now on the next show, on the next show, we're gonna go back into relationships again, and we're going to, talk about the men and women aspects of in a relationship.
Oh, stop lying. Should women obey? Should women obey?
Yes, that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna have.
He don't want to say it. He don't want to say it. He don't want to say it.
We're gonna have Mr. feedback on that, because that comes from the Bible as well. So we're gonna have as well. So,
That's a hot one.
yes, sir. Hot like fire. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Hey, I was trying to talk around it. That's what you trying to do.
But getting back to this subject of the virus, according to the research I have done, the last numbers that showed up about this virus is there over 6,000 people in the United States who has the virus. That was the last numbers that was reported, but it's growing, like I said, every day, tremendously growing.
That's right.
And the United States House and Senate has created a stimulus bill for $850 billion. That's billions with a B. That's supposed to be passed out to people who cannot work because of this virus, and they have closed down their jobs. And and all of this. So you got to have something to keep the economy going, because if you don't and you got all of these people out of work, you're going to fall into a great depression.
That's right.
Once again. So they are trying to avoid this by passing this bill of $850 billion for a stimulus package. Also, they're trying to pass a bill that will allow for, long-term sick leave, and, that will allow for food aid. That means increasing food stamps and other types of food aid to people who cannot buy food because they cannot go to work, because of this disease that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what is going on as far as the politics side of it. Now, as I said, I have a list of states with this count of how many people who have been confirmed with this disease and how many people